There are a number of government types in this world, such as that of the Federal Republic, Republican democracy, and democracy. However, out of all these government systems, Australia decided to choose federation, a constitutional monarchy, and a parliamentary democracy. The choice of Australian government system of a constitutional monarchy are oddly similar to Britain. However, is not simply a coincidence. The fact of this is primarily due to the influence of the historical background of Australia, where Britain colonized Australia, hence Australia adopted the British parliamentary model. Australia then became an independent nation on 1st January 1901, when the British parliamentary passed legislations allowing the 6 Australian colonies to govern in their own right as part of the Commonwealth of Australia. The Constitution was brought into existence through a British Act of Parliament, the Commonwealth of Australia Constitution Act. This act granted permission to the 6 Australian colonies, which were still subject to the British law, to form their own Commonwealth government in accordance with the Constitution. The text of the Constitution, which was a clause of Act 9, was written by the representatives of the 6 colonies during the series of conventions in the 1890s and accepted by the referendum in each colonies. Australia is a federation of 6 states, each of which was until 1901 a separate British colony. The 6 states, which includes New South Wales, Victoria, Queensland, Western Australia, South Australia, and Tasmania, each have their own governments, which in most respects are very similar to those of the federal government. Each state has a governor with a premier as a head of government. Each state also has a 2-chambered parliament, except Queensland, which has had only 1 chamber since 1921. There are also 2 self-governing territories, the Australian Capital Territory and the Northern Territory.
In the constitutional monarchy, the Queen is the head of the Commonwealth of Australia. However, the Queen could not possibly be at other countries as part of the Commonwealth constantly. Therefore, a Governor-General would be appointed. His or her job is categorized generally into 3 categories: constitutional and statutory duties, formal ceremonial duties, and non-ceremonial social duties. The Parliament is basically made out of 3 parts, which is that of the Queen, the Senate, and the House of Representatives. Parliament is the basis of Australia's tradition of responsible government. It has 5 main functions, which include provide the formation of the government, legislate to provide funds needed for the government, and lastly to provide a forum for popular representation. Let's move on to the type of government system of France. Unlike Australia, France's government system is a semi-presidential system, also called a dual executive system. France has a president that is elected by majority of the people, similar to the US. The government of the French Republic is comprised of the Prime Minister, the Ministerial Council, Parliament, and Judicial Branch.